reporting live where you should be subscribing to What's Keeping You Thriving. What's keeping you thriving? What's keeping you moving? I hope you're walking with a limp. I'm out here walking with a limp. I'm walking with a limp. Today we will be talking about something that's very dear and important to me. We're going to be talking about sickle cell versus broccoli sprouts. How do you say broccoli in Spanish? Broccoli. Broccoli. Yes, we will be talking about some of the benefits of broccoli sprouts and how it can impact sickle cell. So, sickle cell is basically a mutation of the Beta Globin gene that causes sickling of the blood cells. Now, part of that sickling can lead to crisis, it can lead to blood clots, it can lead to pulmonary embolism, stroke, and also even lead to kidney cancer known as renal medullary carcinoma, RMC. There's a lot of different things that can happen when someone has sickle cell and or sickle cell trait. Under some exacerbating circumstances, even people with sickle cell trait can have a sickle cell crisis. But when you have broccoli sprouts, you got a very powerful phytochemical in your corner. And what is that phytochemical? It is called sulforaphane. What is sulforaphane? Sulforaphane is an isothiocyanate. Isothiocyanates are basically anthelmintics that kill parasites. They break down protein, help you with your digestion more efficiently, and they also help with the blood carrying oxygen more efficiently. People who have sickle cell and have sickle cell trait, they can have problems that cause them to not be able to carry oxygen as efficiently in their hemoglobin as they would normally. That could lead to sickling, but you can fight that with broccoli. Broccoli. Another great thing about these broccoli sprouts, if you need more proof or data to validate the validity of the claims, you could actually look at the 1932 study of Torrance and Schnabel. There were two scientists who basically, doctors, scientists, they had a sickle cell patient who they were able to stop the crisis of the patient by giving the patient potassium sulfocyanate. And potassium sulfocyanate is basically an isothiocyanate. After giving the patient 500 milligrams of this thiocyanate, I think it was approximately 3 times a day. They were giving the patient 3 times a day, 500 milligrams of the potassium sulfocyanate. And it was basically they were able to stop his sickle cell crisis. So ever since 1932, you can look it up yourself, you'll see that Torrance and Schnabel, or however they pronounce it, they were the first to document themselves stopping a sickle cell crisis with potassium sulfocyanate. And you can get thiocyanates from broccoli. As a matter of fact, according to the National Institute of Health, sickle cell was nutritionally classified as a thiocyanate deficiency anemia. And I'm gonna pull some of these documents to show and give a better understanding of the concept. All right. All right, y'all. Read this short from the National Institute of Health. It states, it states that the author concludes that sickle cell anemia is a congenital deficiency anemia. Congenital means that they were born with it. Is a congenital deficiency anemia ameliorable by prophylactic diets of foods with high isothiocyanate contents. So a prophylactic is a preventative measure. So a way to stop things from happening ahead of time. Thus, a thiocyanate deficiency anemia is nutritionally a more correct clinical status for those born with the homozygous sickle cell hemoglobin genome. Just as any iron undernourished person can suffer from an iron deficiency anemia, a sickle cell hemoglobin homozygote suffer from a thiocyanate deficiency anemia when they subsist on eating foods that are deficient in isothiocyanates. So this is from the National Institute of Health. So guys, these broccoli sprouts, if you have sickle cell anemia, sickle cell trait, you want to make sure that you are eating your broccoli sprouts. You can add them to your smoothie. You can juice them. You can add them to your salad. You don't want to cook them at all. You want to take them raw, because when you do cook them, you do destroy the active compound and the thiocyanates. You basically obliterate them, and when you're looking at something like broccoli sprouts, they're 100 to thousands of times higher when it comes to the content in sulforaphane and the isothiocyanates when you compare it to full-grown broccoli. So when it comes to vitamins and minerals, they get a lot of publicity. People say, "Oh, eat your vitamins, eat your minerals," but a lot of people are most likely more deficient in their thiocyanates. I mean, sickle cell. Basically, thiocyanates are carrying oxygen. Sulfur thiocyanate. You have the sulfur cyanate that they use. There it is, the potassium sulfur cyanate. That's what it is. So these cyanates are all in the same family of thiocyanates. You have amygdalin. Amygdalin enters the body as a under benzaldehyde and exit as a thiocyanate. You can get that from stone fruits. But right now, we're focused on the broccoli sprouts because it's 100 to thousands of times higher when you take this in this form. As a matter of fact, one of the great things about broccoli sprouts is when you look at amygdalin and you start looking at thiocyanates, you're going to see a lot of information and misinformation about it being toxic. But one of the safest ways to take an abundance of thiocyanates without experiencing any radical symptoms is with broccoli sprouts. They repair your DNA. They fight sickle cell to the max. Basically, sickle cell is, scientifically speaking, a deficiency of broccoli sprouts, deficiency of cabbage. Not getting enough cabbage, you're not getting enough sauerkraut. So you want to have the broccoli sprouts, definitely. They help with the phase 2 liver detox. They help with nuclear radioactive isotopes that you get from your microwave food, from having too many x-rays, from having too many MRIs, from laying up under plugged computers and plugged phones, and you got your phone plugged up right beside you. This will help you excrete radioactive isotopes. Broccoli. Gotta get your broccoli sprout. Make sure you walk with a limp. These are probably some of the most underestimated phytochemicals you can add to your diet. You would literally be able to repair your DNA. You can clean your colon. You can add oxygen to your blood, help your body to carry oxygen more efficiently. It's already been scientifically proven that it's the best way to activate your NRF2 pathways, which can basically help with your detoxification and fight that thiocyanate deficiency anemia. Remember, enjoy yourself, don't destroy yourself. Sickle cell is a thiocyanate deficiency anemia that is ameliorable by prophylactic foods that are in the family group of the isothiocyanates. And at this point in time, if you're not taking daikon radish or you're not taking broccoli sprouts, it's very hard to come up with a more efficient way to get an abundance of these phytochemicals and phytonutrients. Important living, or you should be subscribing to What's Keeping You Thriving. Remember, sickle cell is thiocyanate deficiency anemia, and I'm out.